Hi, I'm Arsalan and this is my final presentation for English 12. Happiness can mean different things to different people, and everyone has different perspectives on what it means to be content. In this presentation, I will explore what makes me happy and how I strive to be authentic in the future. In the same fashion, I will also be asking others what their definition of happiness is and what their theories and perspectives on being happy are like. To me, being happy and content is to be satisfied with yourself and understanding that things will not always be perfect. When you understand that, you cannot be let down, and when something goes wrong and you understand that it won't last, you can still be happy despite discouraging circumstances. Many people arrive at the idea that to be happy, you have to always be feeling that uplifting feeling of happiness where everything seems perfect. But like Wade Wilson says, life is an endless series of train wrecks with only brief commercial-like breaks of happiness. You cannot always feel over the moon and expect that feeling to last. This is why that is not my definition of being happy. I am happy when I feel like I am working towards something and doing something purposeful. It keeps me motivated and feeling like I can achieve something to be proud of. In addition to this, another way I can be happy is by taking advantage of opportunities I come across. That way I will never have any regrets. Trevor Noah touches on this idea in Born a Crime, where he says, "I don't regret anything I've ever done in my life, any choice that I've made, but I'm consumed with regret for the things I didn't do, the choices I didn't make, the things I didn't say." We spend so much time being afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, but regret is the thing we should fear most. Failure is an answer. Rejection is an answer. Regret is an eternal question you will never have the answer to. What if only? I wonder what would have. You will never know, and it will haunt you for the rest of your days. Living in the moment and appreciating what you have in the present can ensure being content with yourself. To reinforce this, there's a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. This highlights why it is important to me to live in the present and not dwell on the past or stress about the future. I predict that having a goal and a bigger purpose in life will give me happiness in the future. Holding on to past failures and past trauma can only hold you back. This is mentioned when Trevor Noah says, "I remember the thing that caused the trauma, but I don't hold on to the trauma. I never let the memory of something painful prevent me from trying something new." He goes on to say, "If you think too much about the ass kicking your mom gave you or the ass kicking that life gave you, you'll stop pushing the boundaries and breaking the rules. It's better to take it, spend some time crying, then wake up the next day and move on. This way you can grow from your experiences rather than them affecting your confidence and mentality." It is equally important to recognize that authenticity is essential for happiness. The World's Wife shows us how not being authentic can lead to not being happy and hiding behind sins and such. For example, in the poem Medusa, a suspicion, a doubt, a jealousy grew in my mind, which turned the hairs on my head to filthy snakes. This implies that jealousy and insecurities can lead to not being happy. Self-esteem is important, and Carol Ann Duffy brings this up when talking through Medusa, who is an insecure wife who is treated badly and now sees herself as the monster. Duffy also brings up a number of other sins in other poems that correlate to not being happy because of them, such as "I felt like this," "tongue of stone," "two black slates for eyes," "thumped wound of a mouth," "nobody's ma'am," and "like I said, ain't life a bitch, was his head on a platter." These quotes show how sins can corrupt the way a person thinks and corrupt their happiness with what they think will satisfy them. Duffy alludes to the Moore murders, and the first quote represents how Myra Hindley felt after committing the crimes and how she was far from content with herself during her time in prison. So now I will be going around and interviewing people, asking them questions, because many people have different theories about what it means to be happy, and by asking people about what their definition of happiness is, we can learn a lot. Harsh is here. Harsh, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you feel like gives you happiness? What makes you happy?
So I'm part of the majority who believes that money cannot buy happiness. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. If you focus on what you have, spend time with your family and friends. You can enjoy life more that way. We have been convinced we need money to be happy because it is advertised that way, but I don't think it does. I've learned a lot about what makes people happy, and a quote that really stuck with me was, maybe happiness is something we can only pursue, and maybe it actually never makes us happy no matter what. If you think of it this way, then it only makes sense to be happy with what you have and not endlessly pursue what you think will make you happier.
Okay, so Marco, tell me, what is your definition of happiness? What makes you happy?
Okay. To me, money makes me happy. I like to travel, and with today's world, money can buy you happiness. That's what I think. Because if I can travel wherever I want and buy new clothes and maybe a new car, it will make me happy. I've always wanted to travel Europe and see different places, but you need money for that. That's why I think money is important for happiness.
Yeah, that's interesting. Personally, I think that there is more to being happy than money. There are many different things that can make people happy, like in the things they carried, where Tim O'Brien says, "But this is too true. Stories can't save us." See, to him, stories are a source of his happiness, and they saved him, and it shows that he values the role that they play in his life. Okay, so hi Julia, I just wanted to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
What is your definition of happiness? What does happiness mean to you?
So I think that happiness is found within the positive relationships that you make throughout your experiences. To make those relationships, you have to be authentic, to form meaningful bonds and grow from them.
Yeah.
Like in Perks of Being a Wallflower, when Charlie says, "I just remember walking between them and feeling for the first time that I belong somewhere." Page 198. It showed that his positive relationship with his two friends helped him be happier with himself
Yeah.
and where he was at in his life.
Yeah.
So I think if more people focus on the relationships, they will find themselves happier than before.
Yeah. Overall, it is evident there can be many different theories and interpretations of what it means to be happy. Some people hold money and material items close to their heart, comforted by the freedom they offer, and believe that that is what makes them happy. On the other hand, some people feel the opposite is true, that it is important to appreciate what you have currently and to value relationships with the people who are in your life because it is more fulfilling. Furthermore, you need to stray away from sins and behaviors that are harmful to yourself and others. There may not be a fixed guide that you can follow to being happy. However, if you follow specific ways of thinking and acting, as previously mentioned, then you can increase your chances of being happy and being more authentic. Thank you.